Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, I want to get into this camera that I've been using for the last, I would say, year and a half, something like that, kind of right when it came out. Obviously, you guys clicked on the title. It's the Osmo Pocket 3, and this thing is pretty freaking amazing. Originally, I tested it out because one of my friends, he let me borrow it because he goes, hey, you know, I've been playing around with this camera and it's really good. I think you would enjoy it because obviously if you guys have followed us through the years, I've tried to post as consistently as I can, but unfortunately due to photography being our full-time job, a lot of the times we're very busy with weddings, shooting, editing, all that I needed a camera that was going to be very easy to use. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I went through a few different iterations of cameras where I would use it for a little bit and then I realized it was a little too difficult and I would end up not using it after all. Now, after a year and a half of using the Osmo Pocket 3, I can say with full confidence that if you're looking for a camera that is going to be easy to use, easy to carry around, doesn't require too much technical know-how in order to get you started and get you shooting, I really can't recommend another camera. And I promise this video is not going to be just glazing over this camera the entire time. There are a couple of things that I wish they would improve perhaps for the next iteration of this camera, but 90% of it is going to be very positive. DJI has not paid me to make this video. They haven't sent me anything. These are things that I actually bought with my own money. So let's get started. The first thing that I would say is the size, the portability. So one thing that's a huge plus about this camera is how small it is, because before I was using the G7X, I was using the ZV-E10, and those cameras, when you look at them, are they better cameras? Absolutely. If you look at it from a perspective of numbers, if you look at it from a perspective of image quality, all those things, controls, that camera is going to be better. Those cameras are going to be better. But when you're someone that just wants to pick up a camera and go out and shoot and get very, very good quality, it's hard to bet against this camera or to get the other cameras over this one. I've tried the other two. And like I said, even though they are very small, the form factor is fairly small compared to a mirrorless or DSLR camera. The Osmo Pocket 3 just has it beat. You can't beat how small this camera is for the quality that you're getting. Now, like I said, the quality on those other cameras is probably going to be better, but there's a trade-off. Nothing in life is free. So the opportunity cost is that those cameras are going to be bigger to carry around. You're going to have to attach a microphone on top to get some really good audio. This one is pretty good. Without this microphone, it's definitely good if you're holding it right in front of you, which is what vlogging cameras are for. So if you're holding it right in front of you, it's going to be great. I still use this thing, and what I do is I put it, when I'm wearing a sport coat, I put it inside the jacket where like a pocket square would go, and I put it facing, or I would put the bigger part on the inside so it's not popping out like this. So I put it on the inside, and as you can hear in the audio and some of the clips that I'm sharing with you guys in a second, you're going to see that, or you're going to hear that the audio is way better than if it was obviously not being mic'd up. Even some instances where I was maybe a good 50, 75 feet, like the next clip that you're going to see, it sounded really great. And I was basically, you know, climbing on top of a little hill and the couple is really, really far away. And while they're dancing and our second photographer is getting all the dancing in there and the reception, we come outside and we set up the night shot. What we don't want to do is bring the couple out and test it out and, you know, figure out the numbers and all that. Cool, we're good. I'm coming back. That just seems to be a much easier process than having a transmitter on top of those cameras, or a receiver, I guess it would be. I don't know much about audio, guys. I don't know much about all that stuff. I'm a photographer. I'm not a videographer, which that's another point that I'm going to make after this. So, but you can see, like, you don't have to attach anything to this camera. As soon as you turn on the microphone, it's already connected. I can see the levels on the screen right now where it's telling me that it's recording audio from this microphone. I always tell my assistants, if you don't see the little bar moving, it means that this disconnected because it went to sleep. There is no way to shut it off from what I've searched. So I tell them to let me know so I can turn it back on so the audio is good when we're directing and we can make behind the scenes videos. So that was a very long-winded point as far as size and portability. The next point that I wrote down is ease of use, which I kind of touched on before, but when I got this camera from my friend, I took it out, I turned it on, faced it towards me, hit record. I knew that I wanted 4K and I knew that I wanted 24 frames. That's about as far as I knew. I don't know that much about video. So if you're a beginner or if you're more of an enthusiast than a professional when it comes to videography, I'm telling you, this camera is going to be the one for you because it's that easy. When you grab the ZV-E10, when you grab the G7X, when you grab an A7 IV or anything like that, it's going to take a little bit more know-how than just flicking a screen and hitting record. So I know it sounds like I'm oversimplifying it, but really that's what it is. This camera, you turn it on, you tell it what type of settings you want as far as the quality that you want and the frame rate, and after that, just go out and shoot. And that's why I got this camera, because I wanted something that I could take with me almost everywhere, but it wasn't going to be overly complicated if I give it to my assistant and say, here, record this. There are some assistants who basically on their first go assisting us, I'll give them the camera and go, this is all you have to do. You flick it and you hit record. You flip the camera by pressing this button on the bottom corner so it faces forward or faces back. But generally speaking, as soon as you turn it on, it's going to be, I set it so it faces forward, and then you can start recording. And we've actually posted some behind the scenes videos that you guys have seen on our channel that more newbie assistants have recorded because it was so easy to use. Ease of use, size, those are definitely pluses on this camera versus other ones that maybe give you a little bit more control. Steadiness, okay, because one question that you guys might have is, well, why can't I just use my iPhone? Why can't I just use my Android? Because we don't discriminate here. Actually, we do. Anytime a green message comes in on our group chat, we always jump on them. But I digress. So, and guys, Android people, don't come at me. Like, it's fine. You can use your Androids and it's better. There, I said it. So, as far as, what the fuck was my point? As far as steadiness, that's what I was getting at. So as far as steadiness, yes, cell phones have come a long way and they will be very, very steady, but it doesn't have the steadiness that these cameras will have. I've ran with this thing and just to test it out, because I don't do this fitness influencer nonsense. So I've ran with it just to test it out, and you can see like it's just extremely steady. And I wasn't even trying. I was trying to see if I can get some shake so I can show you guys, but realistically I was running and it was just very, very steady. So the steadiness on this camera, yes, it's going to be better than your cell phone. Can you get one of those stupid gimbals for your cell phone? Yes. Will you ever use it? Probably not. I've gotten those. I've gotten 2 of those and I've sold them every time because it's more of a pain in the butt to put your cell phone on this silly gimbal than to have a dedicated thing right here. Also, if you're shooting a wedding, shooting engagements, shooting events, whatever, you may need your cell phone to communicate with people. So the value of having a camera that's extra steady, more steady than a cell phone, and the fact that you can have your cell phone handy so you can take phone calls, text, whatever you need to do during those events, I mean, that right there to me just makes more sense just to have this. As far as quality goes, I did touch on this briefly, but will the quality be better on a G7X, on all those cameras? Of course it's gonna be better, but there are so many other factors that you have to consider. If you just started shooting, it's probably gonna confuse you if you jump on those cameras from the jump. This one, like I said, you could just turn it on and start recording. Another thing is size. You know, if you're carrying those things around, more than likely, a lot of times you probably won't even wanna shoot with it because it's such a pain in the butt to be carrying it around. When somebody asks me what camera should I buy for a vacation, I tell them, do you have an iPhone? Which one is it? Is it one of the newer ones? Do you have an Android? Is it one of the newer ones? Yes, take that. Because I promise you, if you take a big bulky camera, you're not gonna use it. So that's another thing that's a huge selling point about this, is just how easy it is to carry it around. But I feel like I've beat that message to death. That was just another thing that I was writing on here. As far as quality goes, I would say it's a trade-off. So because the camera is so small, it's only gonna be so good. However, you're watching this video and it's filmed with this camera. So you be the judge, you tell me what you think as far as the image quality goes. For me, for someone that isn't a videographer, for someone that is not a professional cinematographer or anything like that, I find it to be great. It's better than my cell phone. It's better than it's as good as, you know, anything else that I see on YouTube. At the end of the day, guys, realistically, content is king. So if you can post more with a camera that it's, okay, maybe 20% not as good as, let's say, A7 IV or something like that, and I'm making arbitrary numbers, but if you post 10 times more videos, that's gonna give you, there's gonna be a return, whether it's through YouTube ad revenue, whether it's companies reaching out, whether it's more reels that you post, and that right there is worth more than that extra 20, 30%, whatever quality improvement on the other cameras. Because if you're not shooting, but the quality's better, it doesn't matter because you're not putting out content anyway. So I think that sometimes we get so caught up on those little numbers that we forget, if you're not putting out content, it doesn't matter how good the quality of your photos, videos, whatever is. And I can tell you guys that between 2023 and 2025 now, we've posted more videos in that span of time. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked the numbers, but I'm pretty sure we posted more videos in that span of time than I did from 2022 to 2018 or 2016 or whenever the hell it was that I started the YouTube video. Because before, it was such a pain in the ass to put everything together and to cut it and edit it and making sure the numbers are right and doing the whole setup. Right now, this setup that I did right now, it's not perfect. It's a little messy behind me, but it took me 3 minutes to set this up. And I plan on posting more talking head videos like this. I know I've been posting a lot of behind the scenes, but my point being that if your camera makes it easier for you to put content out, that's the camera that you should get. And that's why I think the Osmo Pocket 3 is that much better than a lot of other cameras. Now, if you want to see a little bit like extra, like as far as like the technical things, tracking, face tracking, low light, how it does on that. I did post a couple of videos and I'll link them at the end. So if you want to check those out, go right ahead. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of using this camera for the last year and a half and how good it is. And on that note, like I said, I don't just want to be saying all the positive things. There are a couple of things that I think this camera could use a little bit of improvement. One of them, I would say if a drone, you can have a second lens on it, I think it would be beneficial if there was a second lens on this. And I don't mean the lens that you attach the little magnifying glass thing. I mean, if you have that and then also like a telephoto, it would be great. Because for talking head videos like this, it would be nice to have a longer lens because as you guys know, if you're shooting with a wide angle lens and you're pretty close up, it does distort a little bit. So if you could do something that was a little bit more zoom, maybe even just a 50, 85 would be nice, but I think even 50 would be good just to give you a little bit more zoom. Because on this, you can do digital zoom, but digital zoom is just cropping in essentially in post. So I would, or not even in post, it does it in camera, but you know, it's nice in a pinch, it'll, you know, you'll get away with it, but you can just crop it in post anyway. If you can have a secondary lens that is a 50mm lens or, you know, 70 or 75, 85mm, it would be nice. Again, doesn't kill it, but I think that if they can do it on drones where they can have multiple lenses, it wouldn't hurt to integrate that onto this. I mean, if the iPhone can do it, I think it would be nice. Of course, it might change the cost of the camera, so that's something to consider, but it would be nice. Another thing is, that did bother me on this camera, is I don't understand, and you guys are seeing it right now, I don't understand why they added this little nub on the bottom of the camera. I mean, my hands aren't that big, so I guess, you know, maybe I'm saying it because of that. If your hands are huge, it might have bothered you if it was too small. But for me, one of the selling points of this camera is the portability of the camera. So adding that little extra notch on the bottom to add the tripod mount and to also add where the USB attaches to it, it just seemed a little short-sighted if we're going for portability and we're going for as small as we can. I could be off base on that. Let me know what you guys think. If you have enormous mittens for hands, if that little nub is good, you know, if you like it. One thing they could do is just add it on, but because right now, if I want to put it on a tripod, it has to be on that nub and then attached to a tripod. It would be nice if those things were on the actual camera and they gave you the little nub in case you want a little extender. Or you can always use the extra battery, which I never do because the camera is because the battery is so good on this camera. But that's just something I wanted to mention. I think that those things would have been nice to make it even smaller. For example, when our lighting assistants, when they put this camera into the little pouch that we carry for lighting modifiers, I know that that little extra inch that they wouldn't have to shove in would be nice. But I mean, those are really the only two things. I can't really think of too much else. Face tracking, it works during the day. It doesn't work in low light mode, but it's not the end of the world. That doesn't bother me. If they could improve on that, great. But beyond that, like I said, if you're looking for a nice, portable, good quality camera in 2025, until they come out with the Osmo Pocket 4, whenever that is, and I probably will get that too, this camera is just a really, really great option. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what opinions you have on it. Let me know if you've played with it. Let me know if you're thinking of buying it. If you're thinking of buying it, I'll tell you right now, go and buy it. And also get the creator combo, which I posted a video about that as well. If you guys want to watch it, I'll link it in the description. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'm gonna keep posting videos, guys. I'm gonna keep filming with this camera and I'll keep posting as much as I can. Let me know what kind of content you guys would also like to watch. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.